Hey everyone, it's Paige. We're back for another YouTube video today, and you're probably wondering what this big box is. So I went to Club Champion and I got fit for the new Mizuno iron. So we're going to do a little unboxing today. I'm going to show you the new driver, and then we're going to go to Club Champion and show you my whole experience there and why we decided to go with the driver that is in this beautiful box. So I'm going to open it. Ooh, look how fancy that is. Better fit, lower scores. I need that. Open it this way. Ta-da! Look at that beauty. Oh, I'm so excited. Are you excited, Nico? Look at it. It's so pretty. Okay, so this is my new Mizuno driver, and I'm really excited about it. Oh my gosh, guys, it still has the plastic on it. Can we just take a minute? Look at this beauty. No, the anticipation is killing us. Okay, so I went with the SD200G as part of their new driver series, and we decided to go with this one because it has lower spin. So if you have seen me hit, I hit up on the ball a little bit or a lot, and it spins a ton. It's beautiful. I think something I really love is the look of it. It's very sleek, as you can see. And then also the face fit is really nice and it sounds really good. So I am big into the way that a driver sounds, and this one has a nice high pitch, but it's not too loud or overwhelming. My experience at Club Champion was absolutely amazing. I was really excited to go there and get fit for this new Mizuno driver because I have been a fan of Mizuno for such a long time. As you know, I love their irons. They've been in my bag for, gosh, over a year now, and I also played them back when I was a junior golfer too. So I've always had a love for Mizuno. I think they make some of the best equipment out there. This new driver is amazing. It feels great, it looks great, and most importantly, it performs. So I'm really excited for you to see my whole fitting process, especially if you are into the technology behind club building. This is going to be the video for you. So like I've said before and in previous videos, when you get fit for a new set of golf clubs, it is an investment, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive than if you are going to buy a club off the rack. But I think that you 1000% should go do it because it's worth it. You're not going to get something off the rack and then a couple months later like, this isn't working for me. They're going to make sure that the clubs that you get are fit for you perfectly, and it makes a huge difference in your game, especially if you've never been fit before. So we have a fun little promo, and I have my phone here because I don't want to mess this up, because I think this is a great deal. You use code PAIGE, capital letters P-A-I-G-E, at booking to get 50% off your fitting fee with an equipment purchase that's equal or greater to the fee. So shout out to Mizuno for making such a great driver. The SD200 series is something that you definitely need to go check out, so I will link them down below. If you want something that's tour ready, ultra stable, low spinning, and super forgiving, then definitely go check this driver out. And I'm excited for you to see the next part of this video at Club Champion, so you can see the whole fitting process. So I'm going to link Club Champion down below as well, and don't forget to use the code PAIGE, all capital letters P-A-I-G-E, for 50% off of your fitting. Today I'm getting fit for my Mizuno iron, so I'm so excited to go into Club Champion and check it out. I've never actually been to Club Champion before. I've been to other club fitting companies, but first time there, but I've heard only really great things, and so I'm excited to check it out and see what they have. Okay, so I'm here with Nick today, and he's going to tell me all about Club Champion. So my first time in a Club Champion store today, but I've been to other club fitting companies. What kind of sets Club Champion apart, and what is like a club fitting store? Like, what do you do here?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we've been around for 20 years. We started this 20 years ago, so we really think we're the pioneer of club fitting. And we take an approach to club fitting that's different than most, in the sense that it's just not about getting fit for golf clubs. It's about finding 14 golf clubs in your bag that solve a problem to help you lower your score. 35,000 combinations of demos. So we're what we call brand agnostic. So we don't have like a love of one brand. It doesn't matter what you come in looking for. We're going to look at that, but we're going to let the numbers that the TrackMan's letting us see tell us the story. What shaft, what head, all that stuff.
So when someone comes in and they're like, what do I do? Where do I get fit? What brand? Anything? You have everything here.
Have everything. So Titleist, TaylorMade, Ping, Mizuno, you name it, we have it. And we'll look at whatever you want to look at, but at the end of the day, they all launch different, they all spin different, they all have different forgivenesses. So we're going to find what works best for your game and your golf swing. You know, one of the other things we do here that's special is you can buy a golf club here just like you would any other golf store, where you either come in and we order it and it's just stock. Yeah. We can order it from the manufacturer and, you know, have them build it to spec. And but what we try to show you is this tour quality build. Just like any tour player on any major tour around the world, they have technicians that build their clubs one-off for them. And so we have the Club Champion build, where we build the club exactly like the demo you had that day. So all our machinery that measures all the specs of the club after you're fitting is calibrated with all the machinery your clubs are built on at our factory in Chicago.
And you do full bags, right?
Full bags, top to bottom, 14 clubs.
And putter. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually get fit for a putter, and you should get fit for a putter.
40% of your game.
And it's everything from grips all the way down to shafts.
Everything.
Club head and all
the weight of it.
Little things that go into it as well. I don't think people realize that there's so much that goes into actually building the club, and you have some really cool things that you guys do here that's different than other places.
Yeah, so with the build, like, you know, all the little weights that happen in the driver, all those, we have them all so we can get your club dialed into that exact swing weight. Swing weight's the balance of the golf club. A lot of people never even pay attention to that. It's so big on how your muscles react during the swing. We have the SST Pure process, which no shaft is perfectly round. It has irregularities to it. And so that'll screw with you too. And without getting into the deep, you know, getting golf nerdy. Getting golf nerdy. Basically, it allows the club to get back to square most, 51% more times than not having it pured. So you're going to hit that sweet spot way more.
And there's a ton of Club Champions all around, right?
Well, we have 70 of them. And
so there's no excuse to not go, what I'm trying to say.
All our stores are manned by full-time fitting professionals. These are people that we've handpicked, that have been in the industry, that have done this forever, and they would have been good if we did nothing. Yeah. But then we bring them to our headquarters in Chicago for a full month, train them, give them all the tools we talked about before, and so you're getting a real, like a doctor when they come in here.
Special treatment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's really kind of a special thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm going to go through the fitting process today with my Mizuno driver, and I'm really excited to kind of see how everything works and try everything out. But it's really great here, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below on all things club fitting, and hopefully Nick can answer them in future videos. So I hit 3 shots with the Mizuno driver, so we're gonna look at the numbers now. To me, when I'm looking at this, it's just numbers. I don't know what it means or how it's going to change my driver get better. So Nick, can you just go through this?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll keep this super easy. So the club head speed is how fast you're swinging, okay? And just so you know, every machine you get on could be a little different, but 88 miles per hour is what you were moving it today on average through the 3 swings. But what's important is how much ball speed you're creating off the face. So ball speed is how fast the ball's coming off the face, and for every mile per hour ball speed you can get, it's 3 to 4 yards.
Wow.
And here's what most golfers don't realize is there's a certain amount of ball speed you should have based on your club head speed.
Okay.
Because the USGA's put limitations to the manufacturers of how hot that face can be. So if you take your club head speed and divide it by your ball speed, or you take your ball speed divided by your club head speed, you get a number called smash factor. And so the best.
I hear that all the time, but I have no idea what it means.
So if you take any professional golfer on the planet, I don't care, senior, LPGA, PGA, if they're really good, we call them the gold standard, right? 148 would be like, to 150 would be the best they could be, okay? And so what we're trying to do with all our golfers is how do we get a shaft head combination that gets you running to 148 or 150.
Okay.
So a lot of golfers come in here and they're 1.35, and I go, you know what, you're a 4-cylinder engine running on, or you're a 6-cylinder engine running on 4 cylinders. So we need to figure out how to get that ball speed. Is it shaft, is it head, what is it? And so you have 147 there, not too bad, you're very efficient, you're getting your club head speed. The next thing we look at is the launch angle, and that's the pitch at which the ball comes off the face. And not everybody launches the ball the same. Yeah. So based on how you swing and then your speed, and then another number we'll talk about in a sec is spin rate, you have a certain launch that you want to have.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of golfers, because of advertising, have thought, oh, we just have to all launch it in a certain way and spin a certain way. No, we all have like a fingerprint to our numbers.
Okay.
And so the one thing I do see with like this particular driver we're hitting here is your launch angle's a touch high. Okay?
Yeah, I tend to hit it high and a lot of spin.
Yeah. And now this particular driver, that takes us to the next thing, which is the spin rate. So the ball always has backspin, okay? There's no such thing as side spin, it's just the axis at which the ball is spinning backwards. But if you have too much, the ball just keeps flying in there and comes out. Yeah. And if you have too little, it knuckles like a baseball. So you want to have this. Now, with this much launch, yes, this spin's maybe a touch high. So it's a yin and a yang that we have to figure out is based on your swing, what we want your launch and spin. And as we play with shafts and heads, we're going to dial that in. The last thing really we look at is your dispersion. So as we go through the stuff, it'll start making dispersion circles for us so that we can see we can get tighter. You know, you're just getting in here and getting warmed up. You left a couple out to the right. You had a big draw on another one. And so the goal is as we go is to tighten that bucket up.
For people who just come in off the street, have their bag, how much of a difference does club fitting make?
Well, we've done a lot of studies on that, and everybody's going to be different, but usually if you get all your clubs, we've seen 3.5 strokes on average, lower.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the player, and it comes from all over. Some people, it's the putting. All of a sudden they went from 36 putts to 28 putts. A lot of people gain 20 yards when they come in here. If they've never been fit, they'll gain 20 yards on a driver.
And most people haven't been fit.
Correct. And I tell golfers all the time, and they go, well, and Jordan's, that's what he does for a living. I get why he does it.
Yeah.
But I'm just a recreational player. I go, if you play 1 round a week, that's 6 hours of your time, 5 hours of your time. Why wouldn't you invest in that time and have the very best and be the best you can be?
So with the warm-ups, we went with the ST200G. I really like the way that this club head looks, but also how it feels and how it sounds. A lot of times people talk about the sound. I like it. It's very like loud. It feels like when you hit it, it's like a crack almost, and I love that. And also the look of it too. It's really clean, easy to line up, and it felt really good. So now we're just gonna dial in the shafts to make it work, but the club head felt awesome. Like I was saying before, I never really thought of Mizuno as being like a driver company. When I think of drivers, I don't normally go to Mizuno. So I was pleasantly surprised and almost shocked by how good this felt, how good it looked, and again, the sound. Like I'm really big on sound, and it just sounded so good. Like when you hit it, you want everyone on the range to like look back and be like, oh, that sounded good. So that's what this is for. So I just noticed that you changed that really simple and really easy. You can do that, I'm assuming, with all of the different brands and clubs, and you can just interchange it.
So one of the things that we do is we have a quick change capability. So we can take any head on the market and any shaft on the market. We put these little adapters, and it allows us to play with any shaft and head. So we're not handicapped to what the manufacturer's cart has. We can have a lot more offerings, which is why we have the 35,000 compared to, you know, going somewhere where only you're going to have what that manufacturer offers.
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, how important it is to be knowledgeable as a fitter, because there's so many different combinations. How do you guys know where to start?
We isolate things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to keep hitting the head that you were hitting when we just got the base numbers, the baseline numbers. And we're going to try shafts on that head. We're going to hit like 3 or 4 balls per shaft, and we're going to see what the numbers are. And once we find a shaft that's working, then we'll lock in on that shaft, and you'll start hitting. That's all that you'll be hitting. Yeah. And then we'll start playing around with the heads at that point.
give it a shot.
So we're gonna try that.
So we just hit a couple with that driver, and right away it just wasn't as good, so we're gonna try something else. And I think that's something that you need to be patient. Even though you're getting fit for new clubs, it might not always be perfect right away. It's a process. And so a tip that I have is to enjoy the process. Like, this is really fun to figure out what's going to mix and match, and it's gonna end up being the best.
You can see from a ball speed, we're still a little under. From a launch, we're still high. Spin, we're getting better. But optimal carry for you, based off this, and remember, this is at sea level, so it's not exactly, but it's an apples to apples from where we started. Optimal was 213. We're there on the carry. What we're missing is the total. You can see on that one, still we're optimal carry. We're inching closer on the total. And then we can start to see how now we're getting our little circles. So the first circle is the white one was our first gamer driver, and you can see how we're tightening it up pretty good here.
It would fall better. This one feels like a little, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's kicking.
Okay. Super low spin, that was for sure.
I felt like I almost had to like
work too hard?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Another tip I have too is to always be really honest with your club fitter. If something doesn't look right or feel right, make sure you tell them. It's gonna help them kind of narrow everything down as well. Don't be obviously like too picky about it, because obviously they know best to listen to them. But if something just isn't quite feeling right, let them know.
So
we finally hit the optimal distance, optimal carry. Everything's pretty much in the blue. That's exciting.
So this is Paige's final setup, and so this is the new Mizuno ST200G. You have 2 weight tracks. We're gonna want all the weight. Now I peeled 1 weight out for the fitting just to lighten it up, but when we actually build the driver for her, there will be 2 weights, and we'll have them all forward, so we get that center of gravity real low to lower her launch and spin. We also took the adapter and changed the loft to low. Now, a lot of golfers or a lot of people that are watching this may go, 9-degree turn down, why would Paige want that low loft? Well, Paige has an extremely high attack angle, so she hits real up on the ball. And so she creates a lot of dynamic loft. So actually she needs a lot less loft because she creates loft with her swing. The shaft we found was the Graphite Design Tour AD. This is the IZ6, so it's a 60-gram shaft in stiff. We found that 45 inches length is perfect for her, and around a D4 swing weight is exactly what works for her. So here's some results, and we hit a lot of different stuff today, and that's, you know, it's trial and error. We're working on different shaft weights, different shaft profiles, which is how the shaft kicks, different shaft flexes. And then we played around with the head. You know, we played around with the different weights, the different settings, just to get it to dial in for you. So when we started, we were at a 1.47 smash, so 129 ball speed, and our launch was 17, 222, and those were our distance. And, you know, it wasn't that far off.
Yeah.
Like, you had good ball speed, so we weren't going to find anything that much farther. But
we started with something that was already good,
yep.
And I want to make that clear too. My swing is pretty much always going to be the same. Same swing speed, same everything, and so I'm not going to see as big of a change as some other people, just because I already am playing pretty good equipment. I have been fitted before. Even though if you're looking at my numbers, you're like, oh, we didn't see much of a huge change. There actually was a really big change in the dispersion and what we ended up with, and all of my numbers improved across the board, which is huge.
Yeah, so, you know, what we can see is we actually did get your smash factor up a touch, so we did get a little bit there, and we did get your launch down a touch and kept the spin rate still low. So we did okay on keeping you relatively at the same yardage of what you were currently brought in. So he didn't give up any yardage to get there. And what we've done though is really tighten up that dispersion. So I left one in there like midway through the fit. We kind of were working our way down in, and then we got to the point where it's a very clean little tight dispersion.
I don't think a lot of people are actually realistic about how a new driver is going to help them. It's definitely going to change their game, and I love the Mizuno driver for sure, but you still have to be realistic with the results, and I think that comes with honesty too. So one thing that's really, you guys know this, I'm always super honest about everything and going through the process and how it's really going to change your game. And so I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're going to come in and everything's going to change drastically. You're going to see improvements, but don't expect things that aren't out of your capabilities. Numbers don't lie, and I hope that you guys learned a lot today about the club fitting and about the Mizuno driver, and you guys go and try it. I want to thank everyone at Mizuno and Club Champion. I'm super excited to try this new driver. It was really great to be in here and go through the fitting process. I've been at different club fitting companies before, but this one is very special, and I love the way that they go about everything and how they're not just trying to get you to buy new clubs, they're really trying to fit what's best for you. And if you try them, you don't like them, they have that guarantee policy as well. So they're really customer based, and they're trying to make the best clubs that's gonna lower your scores and make golf more fun. So we have my new Mizuno Gamer driver, and as we know, the numbers don't lie. So I'm excited to get out there and play, compete against all my friends, maybe bet some money, we'll see. Again, thank you to Club Champion Mizuno, and don't forget to like this video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next Thursday.